welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm her husband, Glenn.
Yep, he is.
And welcome back here. Once again, we're here to review Married at First Sight, Season 10, Episode 12. But before we get into the review, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification. Also, make sure you visit our channel and check out some other shows that we're reviewing now since we have a little bit more time. Love is Blind. Make sure you check that out. We started reviewing that. I know we're a little bit late and a couple weeks behind the power curve, but please check out our review of Love is Blind. But now to Married at First Sight, Season 10, Episode 12, Recommitment Day. These couples had opportunity to recommit, and as we was going into it, as we talked about it last week, we thought all 5 couples were not recommit. We thought there would be at least 2 couples that would say that shouldn't recommit, but I think we boiled it down to maybe one would be like, you know what, it's over with, which it has never been on the show. There's never been a couple who says, you know what, we're done at the recommitment period.
Well, this is only the second time they've done the recommitment thing.
Yeah, but still, they're still batting 1,000. Everybody.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing though.
I don't know neither, but
yeah, so we thought at least one couple would be like, nah, and it was a toss up between who that would be.
It was toss up between Zach and Mindy and Brandon and Taylor.
Yeah, so we're gonna go through the couples the way they showed them, and so you'll see.
Yeah, you'll see.
All right, first we had Mica and Michael.
Yeah, Mica and Michael, and we knew some of the issues with them that would come up would be his dishonesty. He talked about her being vulnerable, how he wants her to show more emotion, and Dr. Vivian told Mica something that.
Hold on, before we go there though.
Oh,
please, can we just talk about?
You want to go back to him cutting the grass?
Yeah, because what you're saying is pertinent to how they opened up.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's got a pot or whatever you want to call it of house grass that he is practicing cutting, making sure it's even. And I think it was entertaining to him. He wasn't being completely serious, I don't think.
He was. He said when they get to the house that he wanted to make sure the grass was straight. She's like, well, I don't think you could do that.
But he was serious about cutting the grass even.
Yeah.
But I think what he did with the house grass, the way he was cutting it, I think it was a little playfulness there. And she was not entertained. She was like, I don't think you're going to be able to cut it. Nobody does that. Nobody does that.
She is so negative.
Oh my gosh. She was just like, she didn't see any. I would have laughed it off and be like, you are so silly. You sitting here cut. First of all, where did you get that from? Second of all, bro, you are not doing that. I would have laughed it off. She absolutely did not laugh at all.
And third of all, where you going to find grass like that in D.C.? If y'all stay in D.C., you're not going to find grass like that.
They obviously aren't going to live in D.C.
No, I ain't going to live in D.C. And then you cut grass with a lawnmower, not a pair of scissors.
But this is his practice. No, he might, on TV, them old TV shows, they had them people that was out there cut the grass, but they also were laying in the grass, cut it with the scissors. But no, Michael doesn't really seem like that.
Nah, he ain't that type of dude, man. This a cat. Anyway, so, they had a moment there, and like I said, Mica never shows kind of any interest in anything that he does that we see on camera. I'm going to say on camera. Anything that he does, she always has a negative word or a negative look or a negative something. I mean, she a negative Nancy. Mm-hmm. We talk about people, guys not want to come home and want to live on a housetop. Dude, she is one of the women that, you'd be like, man. Yeah,
and so before we get to recommitments, do we have a glimpse of Katie and Derek?
Yeah, glimpse of Katie and Derek. They get into a little argument because Derek has a lot of dreams. A big argument. Derek has a lot of dreams, a lot of ambitions. He want to write a book. He want to write a song. A Christmas song. He wants to do a lot of things, and he
wants to go on a backpacking trip.
And Katie's like, can you just basically pick one thing? Stop dreaming so much. Pick one thing, do it, and stop dreaming so much. Let's get one thing done. And what happens when we have kids? Are you going to have that many dreams? And she's going,
I don't think that's realistic.
I don't think that's realistic.
I think you need to grow up. She was, oh my gosh, she just really stomped his dreams down. I'm like, Katie, come on, you could be like, well, oh wow, that's a lot. Oh, wow. It's one thing to say, I don't know if that can happen, but she was straight up like, it's not realistic. You ain't gonna be able to do all that. I was like, Dad.
Shot everything down, not knowing that he could work in the middle of the night. You just don't shoot your mates or person dreams down.
Not down completely.
Help them build it, or help them at least, if you know he's unorganized, help them try to get organized, or support it in that instance. As long as the family's taken care of, let them work on their dreams, let them work on what they want to work on, but make sure the priority or the main thing is the main thing, which is the food, clothes, and shelter, and the well-being of your family. And so that's one thing I didn't like about her in that instance. Like, yo, you shooting this dude dreams, and he's telling you what he wants to do, and y'all don't even have kids yet, and you're talking about kids and being supportive, and maybe do all this before you have kids. And
she cut him off at the pass.
Yeah, she cut him off pass.
And then she stomped off.
Yeah, she stomped off, and he ended up sleeping on the couch. Now, anyway, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, but I mean, they're talking to each other between the doors, and she's like, I don't want to talk about it no more. It's foolishness. Basically, is what she said. It's foolishness.
Yeah,
I'm not entertaining it.
I think she's kind of self-sabotaging. I think she's setting it up to create an argument. It seemed like she wanted to have something to argue for, argue about, and this was one of the things that she could come up with and pick holes in for Derek.
Yeah. So anyway, so the first couple that actually comes to recommitment day is Zach and Mindy.
Yeah, Zach and Mindy. Where do we want to go with Zach? And I like Pastor Cal because Pastor Cal's honest. He reads through Zach's BS and Zach talks about, I've been committed to this marriage and, I really care for it. He like, how you been committed? You don't even live with her. You're like, dog, you've been committed to the marriage, but you don't talk to her. And then we find out that Mindy was like, only time she talks to him is when they got to film. You're like, so you mean when there's no filming, there's no interaction between you two? How are you committed?
What the heck?
How are you committed to a marriage? But you talk to my friend, and we were not filming, and it's just so much going on with Zach. It's like, dude, really, don't try to BS a person who's been around for a while. And
that's what Pastor Cal said.
I felt he tried to BS Pastor Cal.
He said, I call BS. He said it. I call it. He was like, he told Zach straight up, you have sucked as a husband. Let's be real. You suck as a husband. Zach said, how does he feel about what's been going on? It's more challenging than he expected it to be with a stranger. What?
Dude, you signed up for this. It's not like when you sat in there, and I worked in reality TV. I've done some stuff out there, and I've been with some people, but it's not like that you haven't signed a contract. Not like you didn't know what you were getting into. It's not like the producers didn't talk to you. It's not like they didn't explain how much filming you have to do. It's not like you went into this thing totally blind. He knew what he was getting into. He still signed up for it. Maybe he likes the little bit of bread they're breaking off for him. Let's be honest, they are getting paid for this, so he maybe enjoyed the bread. Maybe he thought it was going to enhance his Instagram career. Whatever the case may be, he can't say he didn't know what he was getting into.
Right.
That's BS.
That daggone Zach. Pastor Cal even talks to him. Pastor Cal knows about the friend. So you've been talking to the friend. What's up with that? And Zach's like, I don't know.
Yeah, how you been?
He had no answer.
How you been cheating?
Oh yeah, I don't have another girlfriend. I haven't been cheating. What? But he had no explanation for Pastor Cal.
He didn't say the girl. He didn't say the girl was lying.
No.
He didn't say it's not like that.
No.
He didn't say it was. It was just casual friendship. He didn't even tell Pastor Cal. I was just trying to get to know Mindy a little bit more, so I talked to a friend. He did. But the way he said it, and read between the lines, she called me.
Yeah.
So how did she get your number? If she called you. See,
he said she reached out to him through social media, and the question was, how did she find your social media?
Right.
And he tried to say that I was talking to her. She's giving me some tips. Again, he said this again, tips on how to deal with Mindy. So again, if she gave you some tips on how to deal with her friend, when did you put them in practice? You didn't. If she told you it was worthless because you didn't do it.
You didn't do it. I don't know who lies more. Zach?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Right now, I feel like Zach. Because Zach is lying about the really important things. Not that Michael's not, but I'm saying Zach is lying about our relationship stuff. Michael's lying about other stuff.
Zach like living by himself or with his two dogs.
I think Zach like living by himself because he's sneaking and creeping.
Creep?
He is. He's
creeping on the down low.
Something ain't right. But Dr. Viv meets with Mindy. And Mindy shares, okay, we got that Zach accused her of lying about something.
Yeah.
But while he's accusing her about lying about something and won't tell her what it is, I found out that he's been talking to my friend, which he never said anything about.
And she still hasn't told her what she has been lying about. So we don't even know what that's. Still don't even know what that is. Smokescreen. I was surprised, even when talking to Dr. Viv, sometimes Mindy comes off like, and she is a victim, but like she's willing to give this guy, keep giving him chance after chance. The writing is on the wall. He does not love you. He does not like you. He doesn't want to be with you. He doesn't want to do anything with you unless it pertains to the show. It seems as if
she's desperate.
She's desperate. Seems as the relationship is just a job. She is desperate to find someone, and she is willing to take anything. And at this point, 4 or 5 weeks in, it's too late to say I'm committed to the process. Because you committed to finish writing the show out and to decision day, but it will be boring TV between us. I wouldn't even talk to you, dog.
And that's what Zach told Pastor Cal. You know, he said, I want us to come out with, I want it to be a positive experience. Pastor Cal's like, a positive experience? This is not about the experience. This is about a marriage.
Yeah.
So you want to have a positive experience, like, almost like I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Well, I want to
look good on TV. I don't want to make her look bad. I don't want to look like a complete creep. Well, you do. You do.
Yeah,
you look like a complete creep. Like you suck. And Pastor Cal's like, what about the marriage? This is called married at first sight, not experience experience at first sight.
Pastor Cal got into him, and so they both got the assignment to go home and have a conversation about their relationship. And you know, she invited him to come over and to talk about what was going on with them, and they ended up having a conversation. And he's committed to the marriage, and she's like, "Does that mean you're gonna stay here? Does that mean you're gonna stay here tonight?" And he was like, and Pastor Cal told him, "You got to stay at the house."
Well, because that was one of Mindy's things. Mindy said that for her to say yes, you know, when we get to decision day, is that she has to feel that she's cared for. She has to see him outside of filming. Communicate with him outside of filming. He has to move in. He has to be honest about her friend and what they've been doing and talking about. And he has to be upfront about what it is that she's quote unquote lying about. That she tried to pull the wool over his eyes about. That's what she wanted. And so when they get together, go ahead.
When they get together and he's willing to say, I'm willing to do that. Basically, he's like, okay, I'm going to try all the things that you want. He said it. And we see eventually he does bring a bag. And I jump forward. The ladies, Pastor Cal meets one of the ladies later, and you know says, and they talk about what Zach's doing, and she's like, he's bringing a bag. What kind of bag? A grocery bag or trash bag? He's like, he's gonna bring a bag over, so which he means he's gonna spend the night. And so he gets there, he spends the night, and my mouth dropped at this part because she's talking about, oh, it's good to be able to sleep with my husband. We'll be able to wake up. We haven't slept together since the honeymoon. He brings the dogs and get ready to go to bed. He does his face thing. He washes up.
Are you finished with your routine?
You finish your routine. He does all this. And he's like, okay, good night, but I'm sleeping in the other room. What?
Wait, but can we go back before that, though?
No, we got to sleep in the other room.
But I mean, to me, the setup was that when they got together and talked anyway, she asked him about the friend, and she was like, can I see the text messages? Oh, I deleted those.
Oh, yeah.
Why'd you delete them? Did y'all, coordinate that? And he was like, no, I don't talk to her anymore, so I deleted it.
Because they didn't want to see, he didn't want to see any evidence. Which leads to the point why he's sleeping in the other room. He's not attracted. He told us in the first, I'm not attracted to Mindy. And he doesn't like Mindy. He's writing this thing out. He's not attracted to her at all.
He should not have recommitted. They should just do the
And that's why he's able to feel comfortable to sleep in the other bedroom. He's not attracted to her. And he's just going through, he's going through the experiment for whatever reason, whether to continue to get these checks or whatever the case may be. And he's breaking this young lady's heart. So, that's them.
Oh my gosh,
I feel for the young lady because she's tried everything. She's been through a lot. Sister dying, family not supportive, and now I have to go back and say for your family, say I told you so.
He sucks. He sucks, and you alluded to this too. I want to say too that when all the girls met with Pastor Cal and Mindy was talking about Zach, Jessica was like, He know what we all know what we signed up for. He's a lame. No.
Yeah.
No. What is Zach doing? And Jessica feels for Mindy because, you know, at the reception, they ran into each other in the bathroom and she's so excited for her. And she like, gosh, this is not turning out what it should be for Mindy. And I don't really care for Zach or his behavior.
Not at all. Not at all. But we go to Mica. Next couple.
No, the next one was Jessica and Austin.
So you be forgetting about them. They just so.
Don't do that. Don't do that. They are this season's Bobby and Danielle. It's like pretty much smooth sailing for them.
Except for the fact, again, we talked about they can't tell each other. She cannot tell Austin she loves him, and they can't say to each other. Even to the point where after they met with Pastor Cal and Dr. Vivian, and they got to the house, and she's sitting there like, "What did you talk about?" He told her what he talked about, and so she was getting ready to express her feelings, and she started speaking gibberish. He was like, "What?" It's like she started speaking in tongues. It's like he didn't understand what she was saying because she couldn't just say, "You know what, Austin, I love you," and he couldn't say, "You know what, Jessica, I love you."
Dr. Viv told her, they both had the same expression to Pastor Cal with Austin and Dr. Viviana with Jessica. That we haven't, you know, everything's been really smooth sailing. Things are going well. Jessica says she feels safe and everything. And Dr. Viv talked to her about, she says, I love him. I'm feeling feelings of love. Dr. Viv says, well, be vulnerable. Don't worry about whether he says it back or not. When you get back together, tell Austin how you feel. And she went in it like my husband said, was like, she couldn't do it. She said, I just couldn't do it. She is really stuck on, like, girl, let your pride go. Let your pride go.
She's really stuck on him saying it first. They should do one of these things where they say, all right, ready? One, two, three. I love you. Yep, they should do something like that where it's like, okay, I love you. Just let it go. Or write it in a note. Put it on a piece of paper. Do something because the anxiety they have, and we still see Austin doing the little things for the dishes, and he's doing things around the house, and he's making sure that she's taken care of, and they showing love one for another. And that's one thing about them, and that's why I want to skip them. It wasn't that much. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're doing well.
And I think it's obvious with them. They said, what would make you say no? And for Jessica, it was just obvious. What would make her say no is if the feelings of love are not mutual, which she's scared of. And for Austin, it would be a breach of trust.
Breach of trust.
The usual things, like we said, for them to not stay together, it would have to be like something like really obvious and major like that. And I don't foresee that.
We saw in the previews of what's coming up this season that there's a little dissension that the editing has done. I'm really interested to see what the dissension is between them. Something alluded to him having to travel for work or not be around as much. Just we're interested to see how that pans out and works out.
I think they're gonna be cool though. They're gonna be cool. Fine. All right, now
my favorite couple.
Is this your favorite?
Because I get entertainment out of these two. I get entertainment. These two give, besides Zach and Mindy, this couple right here gives me a lot of entertainment because I'm trying to figure out is the dude lying or not.
Oh my gosh, poor thing, Michael and Mica.
But
the Eminem connection.
You know, even when Michael met with Pastor Cal asked him, you know, what's going on, how the marriage is going, and he said, you know, there's been some distrust in the marriage. I've lied and I've done some things, but she hasn't been vulnerable and seemed like, again, she's always negative. She's always hard. She always has a hard demeanor and what's going on, and everything's always rough. And you know, and that he wants somebody who's kind of he's playful, as you mentioned with the grass earlier. He is playful. He plays a lot. So I want somebody who's able to play with me and laugh and joke and Pastor Cal said, well, you know what, you done broke that trust, bruh.
Right.
I mean, you broke that from day one, and you're gonna have to do double to earn that trust back, and you gotta be willing to put in the work. And one thing you know about Michael, when I'm seeing him talking and looking at. He's always scratching his head. He's always playing with his ring. Like when you really get to him, or you can see he's like kind of thinking like, what should I say? Should I lie? And Pascal asked out, are you lying to me? Because he asked a question about Mica. Like, are y'all are y'all good, basically? And he's like, yeah, we good. I talked to her about that. Him sending his dude.
I see why we're matched together. Basically called themselves Fire and Ice, and we compliment each other. And Pastor Cal was like, the only thing about Fire and Ice is
and if don't match up,
it can get burned. Somebody can get burned.
Somebody get burned, and she's been burned. And so Dr. Viv and Mica met, and
Dr. Viv talks to her about the fact that Mica says she's frustrated. And so Dr. Viv was like, do you think that he mostly sees the frustrated Mica? Mica was like, yeah. Dr. Viv was like, well, that's not good. If all he sees is the frustrated Mica, how are you all going to develop trust? And how is he going to feel like he can share with you when you don't show any vulnerability?
None.
How's that work?
And how can he land on, in a statement she said, how can he land on something hard? He needs to land on something soft.
Yes, he needs something soft to land on.
Something soft to land on.
And Mica said later that really stuck with her when she talked to Michael, that stuck with her, that he needed a soft place to land on. And she acknowledged, I've been hard because of the lies about the mileage on your vehicle, about
your job.
About your job. Oh,
which he do have a job.
I asked him. She said she asked to see his pay stubs. Let me see your pay stub, then. If this is the job that you have and this is what you say you get paid, let me see your pay stub. And he has yet to share his pay stub.
But at least she know he's getting paid, right? Because he got a trip planned for Jamaica. Right, he got on his boat. He took her to place. At least she know he bringing some money in. Now she may not be able to see his pay stub, but he got money.
I don't know. I don't
leave
know.
His pay stub in the car.
I don't know. Even for direct deposits, you can get a pay stub from somewhere. They got an electronic pay stub. If they might send it to you in the mail, but I don't know. I felt a little like, Dad, girl, you asking for his pay stub? He might not want to share that.
Look,
even though he should. They're married. We can be, especially if, like Pastor Cal told him, you're working from a deficit. You're working from a deficit at this point, so you have to build this up, and so you should be doing anything that you need to do to build this trust up.
So if she wants to see his pay stub, he should be like, on
show
Friday,
the pay stub.
Hey, look, I already deposited my check with this is where I'm working at. He said he's the director now because Pastor Cal asked him about that.
At a charter school.
At a charter school, I'm the director. I'm doing this, that, and the other. Hey, he got a job. He gets up and go to work every day. Now I don't know any man who get up every work, and I'm assuming he's going in the suit and some khakis and maybe a shirt. I don't know anybody going to dress up that much and lie about that.
I hope not. I like to think not.
And just hang out all day in a suit and coat. Oh, I don't know too many people do that.
I don't know. I mean, this is a side note. I think what it boils down to is he's probably not getting paid as much as he said he is. He's trying to, and he doesn't want to. Maybe he's one of those guys that doesn't want to not be looked at as a provider. And he might have a problem with the fact that she makes more money than him. He might be embellishing there. I mean, that's a stretch. Maybe that's what it is.
But he said he don't trust him. He said he got trust issues since he was an orphan.
Maybe he's being garnished. And he don't want her to know. So,
it could be anything.
Maybe he got a secret child and they taking out child. It could be anything. But Pastor Cal stressed with him, you're going to have to build up the trust. And some things you're going to have to do to build up the trust. And Mica has to soften herself. She's going to have to soften herself so that he will... It's the complimentary thing. I'm going to have to be vulnerable, even though being vulnerable with someone I don't trust is difficult. If you give him a little bit of vulnerability, he'll give you some honesty. Yeah. It's going to have to be a give and take. I think...
And they both committed to stay to the marriage, and they're
both committed.
And even when they both talked, their conversation went better than it had been in the past. And she asked questions, and she wasn't as mean, or wasn't as rough. I'm not going to say mean. She wasn't as rough.
No, she mean.
And she wasn't as rough. And so their conversation, they committed, and they wanted to stay together. And so good for Michael and Mica even though we know how it
I feel
ends
like
up.
we're gonna be doing that the whole time.
Yeah. Michael,
Mica, Michael.
Mica, Michael.
Mica, Michael.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next couple.
All right. So here's our other couple that we figured wasn't gonna recommit.
Yeah.
It's Brandon and Taylor.
Which I'm surprised at this one. First of all, I'm surprised Brandon even showed up for the meeting.
I mean, he had to. Look,
Yeah.
They contracted.
He's contract obligated. He sits there and talks to Pastor Cal, and they go through the whole situation about Panama again, about the Instagram post. They even show the Instagram post. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired of seeing this Instagram.
I know they
post.
keep showing.
They keep showing. I'm tired of seeing this. I know what she said. We know. Tired of seeing it. But he went through the whole, with Pastor Cal, and he like, look, basically, man up. If you're gonna be with her, forgive her. And man up. Y'all gonna have to come. Y'all both made mistakes. Y'all both had issues, and y'all both had circumstances that y'all need to fix. You're not the victim here. She's not the victim here. Both of y'all are victims. So now we need both of y'all together. We matched y'all for a reason, and we think it can work. So guess what? You guys gotta be willing and committed to work it. And he flat out asked him, "Are you willing to continue the process?"
But he also said, "I'm not here to make you stay married. I can't tell you to get divorced.
Right.
I can't make that decision. So I don't want you to feel like Pastor Cal distressed. I'm not trying to force your hand. I'm not trying to make you do something that you haven't done.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to make you do something that you don't want to do. But I do want to encourage you to do something that you haven't done, which is, have you put forth all the effort? Have y'all really tried? Have you tried to get past this thing?"
And what he said was, have both of y'all put 100% into your marriage as much as you put 100% into fighting each other and just walking away and leaving on. Brandon talked about her walking away and just walking out, but how many times have Brandon walked away and just left, or Brandon became mute and just didn't stop talking?
Right.
So it has to be a process where both of these guys, Taylor and Brandon, have to come together. And Dr. Viv was talking the same thing with Taylor, like, look, y'all gonna have to let it go and basically hit the reset button and have a clean slate.
Yeah, because she said y'all are playing a game of chicken.
Yeah, playing a game of chicken. Like, which one of y'all gonna move out the way first?
Or which one is gonna say yay or nay first?
Yeah, which one say yay or nay?
Neither one of y'all will say yay or nay. It's like we basing it on the other person. Somebody needs to commit or not commit, and just go with it. Whatever yeah.
And when they both recommitted, I was like, wow.
I was surprised.
I was surprised that they both recommitted, and then they had to go together. And Brandon came over to the apartment, and they sat down and actually had a decent conversation, and really was like,
for the first time in a long time.
First time in a long time.
For the first time in forever.
Oh, go ahead, keep going. Since Panama, they had a good conversation in where they actually talked, and we come to find out Brandon put his ring back on.
Yes.
And started to do some things, and they had conversation, and to the point where even Derek was surprised when the men met that Brandon and Taylor was like, they both recommitted. He was like, I thought these two wouldn't recommit whatsoever.
Yeah, his mouth was open like,
what?
What?
He was excited. So it's good to see that they recommitted. It's good to be interested to see how it plays out for the rest of the season here with Brandon and Taylor, and how they can kind of mesh and stay together. And which one of these will grow up, or will both of them continue to be childish?
Yeah, they both said that there has to be change in order for us to make this work. Brandon said, he told Pastor Cal, I want you to act like a wife. Pastor Cal was like, you're going to have to be more specific than that. And what he said was, I want her to not act like she's single, not always be going out partying with her friends.
But that's one of her, see, this is where I had to go back. That's one of her jobs. One of her jobs is going out partying, promoting, and doing different things. So it's kind of what she does. That's like her saying, you know what, I don't want you to drink, but you deal with beer all day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like this is my job, and now you could cut back a little bit on the nights you go out, or at least communicate like, hey, you want to hang out with us tonight, or you want to go? I got a job at this restaurant, bar, or whatever. I got to do something, so I need your support. So there lies the communication that has to come into place, and with him and her, they may have to schedule some things time together, so they can have that communication and peace. And he may need to stop staying down the hallway in the other room, and may have to come in the room with her and just have conversation and talk.
Yeah.
And try to be together as one. So it was good to see that they committed, but I would have lost all my money about them two.
Yeah.
I thought they would be like done.
Yeah, because, obviously, we have a spoiler. We know what happens in the end. So these highs and lows with them. I'm like, we know what happens at the end. How it gets there is a mystery right now.
Again,
but
I think some of these cats are just riding it out to finish off that paycheck and that contract.
Yeah,
I'm just being honest. I think they're just riding it out just so we can get the decision date. I can make my decision. I think half of them. I think Taylor already knows what she wants to do. Brandon already knows what he wants to do. Mica and Michael I think they already know what they want to do. And hope Mindy knows what she want to do. But I think Zach will be the one who say, you know what, I want to stay together, knowing that Mindy would say we're not staying together.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
So he can come off looking good on TV.
Yeah.
But Brandon and Taylor, hey, we'll see how it plays out the next couple of weeks with them. Yeah,
hopefully they can get it together. The only other thing with them is Taylor was like, for her, talk to me when you're upset. Yeah. You don't get space and time forever.
Which I kind of disagree with that though. Sometimes when you in a marriage or
not forever,
but she was like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. But sometimes, but it goes communication. If he has an issue or they have a problem blowing up, sometimes in relationships you can't talk right then and there because emotions are so high. And they have to learn how to communicate. You know what? Give me a minute, or let's revisit this in about an hour or two. Give me a minute. Let me gather my thoughts and communication. And be honest, I had to learn that. Like, oh, hold up for a minute. Let's take a minute. Let me gather thoughts and let's communicate when this situation has died down a little bit, and while we're more focused, not in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna be all day not talking to me. That's what she said.
Yeah, she said
you ain't gonna be all day. We're not gonna do like we did in Panama. That's not gonna happen.
We're gonna talk about something.
But anyway, so our last one,
Derek and Katie.
Yes.
Derek and Katie. Like I said, I like Derek and Katie. I think some of the issues they have are because of Katie's insecurities. Mm-hmm. But Katie, for the fact that she wants somebody to love her. She wants to hear it. She wants to see it. She wants to
feel
it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think there becomes a balance inside of it that when you marry, that attention is not always on you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the other person still has to maintain their stuff in their life and some things they want, but you should be included in that. But the spotlight is not always on you.
And she gets a chance, and she tells Dr. Viv that is her thing with all his dreams. She shares with Dr. Viv that she did say, and she said again, it's not realistic. I don't feel like you can do all of this. But the underlying thing is, I feel like if he's so busy pursuing his dream that he won't have time for me.
Won't have time for me. And that's what you gotta make time.
It won't be not even so much completely about me, but he'll lose track of me. Mm-hmm. Where will I be in all of this while he's chasing his dreams? And that's the root of it.
That's the root of the issue because she wants to be loved. We saw that from the first episode when the ex-boyfriend came back. He said he loved her or whatever. That's why she he loves me. I don't even know this guy. Should I go? Mm-hmm. And so nothing wrong with being loved and nothing wrong, but also support your husband. We said it earlier.
That's it.
Support your spouse's dreams and sit down and communicate. How do we want to achieve your dream? What will it take for us to reach this dream? What kind of finances will it take, if any? How can I be a part? How can I assist you? How can I help you get to where you want to go? And how is it going to impact our family?
Yeah, Dr. Viv encouraged her to be his #1 fan. Sometimes, and Dr. Viv says, sometimes you got to fake it until you make it. Yeah. You might not understand, it might not make sense to you, but you know what, baby? You can do it. Mm-hmm. You can do it. I'm behind you. I don't see it. You might not want to say that, but go for it. Try
it. Communication comes in, because there may be some things when you're trying to live out your dream that you forget the other one may see. Mm-hmm. And there may be something in an area where you want your dream, but she may be a better communicator, a better organizer, and your thoughts all over the place, and so it helps you out. Even with us, I support you in all your dreams and all your endeavors, and I'm your biggest fan.
You are, and I support you as well.
I know.
I do.
Well, I keep bringing them checks in.
I mean, but anytime, I don't know. I know we share this. My husband's a coach, though. And so, I was good wifey. They had to do some concession stands this season. I think I was at almost every concession stand.
I appreciate your support.
So, I appreciate you.
Oh,
He's a good coach. Just so you know, he's an awesome coach.
Oh, thank you. But back to Derek.
Side note.
But we got to support. You have to support each other.
That's right.
And their dreams and what they want to do and what they want to achieve. And so she's learned that, and I think their relationship has gotten better because they're able to communicate that to one another. And so they show previews of what's going to happen for the rest of the season. We saw them blow up a little bit, and it depends on how it pans out going into the decision day. But right now, all the couples as they recommitted are in a good space. As the show ended, they're in a good space. They still.
I wouldn't say that Zach and Mindy are in a good space.
No.
I mean,
she's ready to leave. If she's not done, she should be done. After he says, that he spends the night there, as we said, and then goes to the other room. He is done.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
She is. Look, I'm telling you, if the show don't show her done, in her mind, if they cut out and she was laying in the bed and looking at him going to the other room, and she didn't say nothing. That's my problem with Mindy. She didn't say stop. She didn't say, hey, Zach, you're not gonna stay in here. You're not nothing. No off light. You're not gonna sleep with me tonight.
And again, she didn't get the answers to her questions.
The
things that she said she needed. Dr. Viv told her to talk about. She did not get definitive answers, responses.
She is so passive aggressive.
I don't even want to say passive aggressive. She's so passive.
Confront some of that stuff.
There's no aggression.
None. Confront some of that. Hey, but that's our Married at First Sight episode 12 review for season 10. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Man, this episode has been really up and down, and we saw a lot of things from couples. Had a couple surprises in it as well. Let us know what you think. We want to hear from you. Like I said, we comment back. We get on, especially with a lot of free time on our hands now. So we definitely will comment back to you. Please, man, please, sir, leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification, and share. And check out our other review of Love is Blind.
Thanks. Bye.